Josh Duggar's federal prison under scrutiny after inmate lawsuit alleges unsafe, unclean, and unmonitored conditions. Josh Duggar, the former reality television personality best known for his appearances on 19 Kids and Counting, continues to serve his prison sentence at FCI Seewald, a low-security federal correctional institution in Texas. While Duggar's own high-profile criminal conviction for child pornography has kept him in the headlines, it is now the conditions at the prison facility itself making waves, this time through a legal filing by one of Duggar's fellow inmates. A new lawsuit, filed by a currently incarcerated individual at the same facility, details serious claims about deteriorating living conditions, alleged illicit activity inside the prison, and what the plaintiff says is a gross disregard for basic human rights. Among the disturbing allegations are unsanitary conditions, including mold on the ceiling, unregulated access to drugs, and inmates allegedly smoking in the prison yard with little interference from authorities. The lawsuit, filed pro se, without a lawyer, in federal court, seeks not only public attention, but also legal remedies for what the inmate claims are multiple violations of constitutional protections. Though the case does not directly name Josh Duggar or reference him beyond noting they are in the same facility, the spotlight has shifted once again onto FCI Seewald, and by extension, onto Duggar's circumstances. The plaintiff in the case claims that living conditions at FCI Seewald fall far short of acceptable federal standards. The first issue detailed in the complaint involves mold on the ceiling of inmate housing units. According to the documents filed, this mold is pervasive, has been reported repeatedly, and is allegedly ignored by staff and maintenance crews. The lawsuit states that the presence of black mold has led to multiple health complications among inmates, including respiratory distress, coughing, and allergies. The plaintiff claims to have personally submitted numerous health complaints and grievances, which were either dismissed outright or received no follow-up. This, according to the suit, amounts to a willful neglect of inmates' well-being. In addition to sanitation concerns, the lawsuit highlights what the plaintiff describes as rampant drug use among inmates. Specifically, the complaint claims that some prisoners smoke illegal substances openly in the prison yard. The allegation includes claims of unmonitored areas that allow inmates to engage in smoking, which the plaintiff believes is not limited to tobacco. The lawsuit claims prison authorities are either unaware of or actively choosing to ignore this illicit activity. There are further concerns about safety and supervision in the yard, with the plaintiff stating that some inmates use these unsupervised periods to threaten or intimidate others. A major theme of the lawsuit is what the inmate describes as systemic indifference by prison staff. The plaintiff claims that complaints are routinely filed, yet rarely addressed. Grievance systems, the lawsuit alleges, are slow, inefficient, and often manipulated to prevent escalation. According to the documentation, correctional officers may dismiss grievances as resolved without any action being taken. The complaint adds that prisoners who attempt to push harder for resolution are often subjected to retaliatory measures. These may include room changes, disciplinary citations, or being sent to special housing units. The plaintiff argues that this discourages inmates from coming forward about conditions or abuse, essentially creating a system in which silence is encouraged and whistleblowing punished. The filing also mentions that healthcare services inside the prison are inadequate. The inmate alleges delayed treatment, poor diagnostic follow-ups, and a lack of urgency in dealing with physical and mental health issues. According to the plaintiff, inmates often rely on Tylenol or other over-the-counter medications for conditions that would normally require more thorough medical intervention. While these are the claims of one inmate, they come at a time when FCI Seewald has faced increasing scrutiny. Located in Seewald, Texas, the facility is operated by the Federal Bureau of Prisons and houses approximately 1,800 male offenders. The prison made headlines in 2022 during the COVID-19 pandemic when it was reported as having one of the highest infection rates among federal facilities. This put the prison under the microscope regarding its sanitation protocols and inmate care. With a renewed legal filing alleging long-term issues that may extend beyond health crises, watchdog groups are beginning to revisit their evaluations of the prison. While the Bureau of Prisons has not officially responded to the current lawsuit, advocacy organizations are pressing for investigations into the claims raised. Josh Duggar's presence at this particular institution only adds public attention to the case. Though Duggar is not directly involved, the fact that a facility housing such a high-profile inmate is under legal scrutiny raises additional questions about how widespread the reported problems may be. At the time of writing, the lawsuit has been accepted for initial review, but a trial or hearing date has not been set. Legal analysts note that while lawsuits from within prison walls are not uncommon, those that are factually documented and supported by medical or photographic evidence can lead to policy changes, inspections, and administrative consequences. The Federal Bureau of Prisons, when contacted by media outlets for comment, issued a standard response that they do not comment on pending litigation, and that the BOP remains committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of all inmates under its care. No detailed rebuttal to the specific allegations has yet been made public. In the meantime, officials at FCI Seawald continue regular operations. Sources within the facility, speaking anonymously, stated that complaints about mold and yard supervision are not new, and that administration knows about it. However, they also said that budget constraints and limited personnel complicate solutions. Josh Duggar's imprisonment has been a focal point in the Duggar family saga. Following his conviction on charges of receiving and possessing child bad abuse material, Duggar was sentenced to over 12 years in federal prison. His appeal was denied, and he is currently projected for release in 2032, although recent adjustments to prison records have pushed back that timeline slightly. Though not mentioned by name in the lawsuit, Duggar's connection to FCI Seawald continues to draw outside media interest. News of conditions at the prison has once again placed the Duggar family name in proximity to controversy. Duggar himself has remained mostly silent during his incarceration, with minimal communication reported through his legal team or family. His wife, Anna Duggar, has kept a low profile, though some family members have posted cryptic or suggestive content on social media. Public records do not indicate that Duggar has filed any complaints of his own about prison conditions. This new lawsuit also brings to light a larger issue within the American prison system: the perceived lack of oversight and accountability in low-security federal facilities. Critics of the prison industrial complex point to this case as yet another example of how inmate voices are often marginalized and ignored. Prison reform advocates argue that many of these issues stem from outdated infrastructure, underfunding, and staffing shortages. They claim that without proper audits, inspections, and independent oversight bodies, conditions in some federal prisons will continue to deteriorate. Organizations such as the ACLU, Human Rights Watch, and Prison Policy Initiative have called for reforms that would include increased transparency, expanded healthcare access, and mechanisms to ensure grievances are fairly reviewed. As the lawsuit proceeds through the federal court system, it will likely draw attention from both prison reform advocates and those following Josh Duggar's case. Whether or not the legal complaint leads to changes at FCI Seawald, it has already achieved a degree of public impact by sparking conversation around prison conditions. Legal experts say the case will likely face a long procedural timeline. The federal court may request more detailed documentation, eyewitness testimony, and possible expert reports to determine whether the claims warrant a formal hearing. Should the case be dismissed due to lack of evidence or procedural error, it could still inspire similar complaints from other inmates. In the meantime, scrutiny of FCI Seawald, and by association, its most well-known inmate, continues. public interest in both Duggar and the state of the American prison system ensures that this lawsuit, no matter the outcome, will remain under the media spotlight. Jed and Katey Duggar shockingly reveal if they want more kids, or if they're taking a sabbatical. Jed Duggar and his wife Katey Nakatsu have become central figures among the next generation of the Duggar family, drawing considerable public interest not only because of their high-profile courtship and marriage, but also due to their rapid journey into parenthood. Married in 2021, the couple quickly welcomed children into their lives, and within a short span, they had already become parents multiple times over. Recently, the couple addressed a much-asked question: are they planning to continue expanding their family, or are they taking a break, a sabbatical, from child-rearing, as Jed humorously called it? In a surprising and candid discussion, the pair opened up about their experiences, emotional state, practical concerns, and the spiritual discernment they are applying in their decision-making. Since tying the knot in a beautiful Arkansas ceremony, Jed and Katey have welcomed 4 children in just 4 years. The pace at which their family has grown has been both admired and questioned, especially given the intense demands of raising multiple young children. Jed, one of the middle children in the massive Duggar clan, is no stranger to large families. Growing up in a household with 18 siblings, he has long said that having children was a natural part of life, and something he expected from an early age. Katey, who comes from a smaller family, has adjusted to the rhythm with equal commitment and grace, often sharing moments of chaos and joy on social media. Their followers have observed everything from sleepless nights to joyful milestones, first steps, baby laughs, and toddler tantrums. However, behind the cheerful online posts, Jed and Katey recently revealed that the rapid growth of their family has also brought its share of exhaustion and reflection. Being members of the Duggar family comes with its own unique pressures. While Jed and Katey are not on television in the same way previous generations were, public attention has followed them regardless. Social media commentary, blog coverage, and YouTube speculation have all contributed to an environment where the couple's every move is analyzed. According to Jed, it's a lot of love, a lot of joy, but also a lot of work. Katey added, "You don't really understand how full your hands are until you have back-to-back pregnancies, nursing babies while chasing toddlers, and still trying to be a good wife, homemaker, and friend." Their decision to speak publicly about the future of their family was, in part, to address speculation. There had been rumors suggesting the couple may either be preparing for baby number 5 or taking a permanent step back from growing their family. True to the Duggar tradition, faith plays a significant role in Jed and Katey's decisions. However, they are also showing a more modern approach compared to their older siblings and parents. In their own words, "We're prayerfully considering our next steps." Jed explained, "We believe children are a blessing. That hasn't changed, but we also believe God gives wisdom for every season. Right now, we're asking Him if it's time to pause and rest." Katey chimed in, "Our hearts are open to more children if that's God's plan, but we're also learning that stewardship of the children we already have is a sacred responsibility." Their remarks reveal a subtle but significant shift from the Duggar family's past emphasis on always being open to as many children as possible. Rather than adhering strictly to a specific ideology, Jed and Katey appear to be balancing spiritual discernment with practical realities. Jed first used the word sabbatical in a vlog update, and it immediately caught attention. "We're on a bit of a sabbatical," he joked, referring to a pause in expanding their family. He clarified, "It's not permanent. It's not a rejection of the idea of more kids. It's a reset, a time to focus on the ones we have, strengthen our marriage, and regain a bit of balance." Katey emphasized that the decision wasn't made lightly. "We're both pretty type A. We love planning, we love goals, but parenting has taught us flexibility. The idea of a sabbatical is giving ourselves permission to breathe and reevaluate. Their supporters praised the move, with many noting that it reflects maturity and intentionality. Some, however, questioned whether it signaled a departure from the Duggar family values. Jed responded to this criticism calmly. "We love our families and everything we were taught growing up. But each marriage, each family, is unique. Our convictions haven't changed. We just believe rest can be holy too." Another factor the couple discussed openly was health, both physical and emotional. Katey has experienced difficult pregnancies, and postpartum recovery has taken a toll. She shared that her most recent delivery came with complications that required a longer recovery period than expected. "There was a moment," she said, "where I realized I was trying to power through everything, but I wasn't okay. And Jed saw that. He stepped in, supported me, and together we decided to slow down." Jed highlighted the importance of mental health in their decision-making. "There's this unspoken expectation that we always have to keep going, but we're realizing it's okay to stop. It's okay to say, 'This is hard.'" They also shared that this break is helping them invest more in their marriage. With so many young children, their couple time had become almost non-existent. "We're best friends, but that friendship needs intentional care," said Katey. As of now, Jed and Katey's home is bustling with the energy of toddlers and infants. Their children are all under the age of 5, which means that every day is packed with activity. From managing tantrums to teaching first words and feeding hungry mouths, the couple's routine is intense. "We wake up tired and go to bed tired," Jed joked, "but in between, we're raising some incredible little humans." Katey added, "We laugh a lot. We cry some days too. But we know this season won't last forever. The days are long, but the years are short." Fans often ask how the couple handles discipline, routines, and screen time. In response, Jed and Katey maintain that they're doing their best to find what works for their family. "We're not experts," Katey admitted. "We're just two people trying to raise our kids with love, patience, and a lot of prayer." So, what's next for Jed and Katey Duggar? They're not ruling out more children. In fact, they've said they're still open to it. However, the difference now is the pace. They're not rushing. They're not forcing timelines. Instead, they are learning to rest in the unknown. "We don't need to know what the next 5 years will look like," Jed said. "We just need to be faithful today." Katey agreed, adding, "We want to raise kids who are kind, strong, and loved. And that starts with being the best parents we can be now, not just having more and more kids." The couple's attitude reflects a blend of traditional values and thoughtful evolution, making them relatable to a broad audience, whether fans of the Duggars or simply parents navigating similar life choices. Jed and Katey Duggar's revelation about taking a sabbatical from having more children isn't just a family update, it's a window into the shifting dynamics of a new generation of Duggars. While they continue to honor their upbringing and the values instilled in them, they're also carving out a path that is uniquely theirs, one filled with intention, grace, and perhaps most importantly, rest. Whether or not they choose to expand their family in the future remains to be seen, but what is clear is that they are choosing to pause, breathe, and fully invest in the life they have now. And in doing so, they are offering a powerful message. Sometimes, the most faithful thing you can do is stop, listen, and wait.